Okay, so the sound you just heard is an indication that recording has just commenced. Good day, everybody. Good day, wherever you are hearing my voice from. My name is Otaigbe Hees. It's my pleasure to welcome you to another session of EMGS interview preparatory session. For those of you that have gotten interviews, I'm quite confident that all of you here have gotten interviews. That is why we are here, and hopefully, what has helped others so far will equally be very, very beneficial to your journey. Once again, my name is Otaigbe Hayes. I wouldn't want to say, let's start introduce ourselves here. I believe that we are here for similar purpose, which is to smash our interview. I'm not looking for interview. Just so you know, I just want to prepare you just so that by the time you have an encounter with your interviewer, there will be a change of a story. For those of you that are having interview for the first time, we welcome you on board. If you have been having frequent interviews and it has not been successful, I am confident that these sessions are going to really help you, but you have to do your part. Please have a jotting materials, have something to put down, something comes to your head, because anything not written down sometimes can easily be forgotten. So please, let's quickly do well to take note of that. Now, just a little bit of a background. This is not our first interview sessions. If you are joining us for the first time, you should have known that we have been doing this in series. So if for any reasons, maybe today's sessions was not able to meet all of your needs, just know that there are other sessions that you can actually access on the EMGS YouTube channel. So we started putting it on YouTube now, just to ensure that for those who are going to have their session in time to come, they can easily have access and know, okay, this was what was asked to these people. This was how they actually had their session prepared. So that's basically it on that. Now, again, on the basis of background, we began these sessions as a sort of an extension of our rebranded EMGS job application package. We discovered that when we support people in job application, many are getting interviews. Yes, it's not guaranteed. It's not as if everyone that applied through EMGS or that EMGS supports in a job application gets interview, but quite a number do end up getting interviews. The challenge is jobs hunt are very, very difficult now. Now that it's difficult, some people still go ahead to secure this job, and then it's disheartening that after taking so much, or after spending so much of a great deal of time to be able to apply for this job, you secure this job, and then you go for your interview, the people now begin to have issue, someone go ahead and flop, as the case may be. So we discovered that it is now falling back on us to be able to support our community and ensure that not just to support them in getting this interview or schedule for interview, but also prepare them adequately for their interview so that they can be able to come up with a 100% success rate. So we'll be doing this for some time now, and it's been helping quite a lot of persons. For your colleagues in Canada, UK, Australia, and in different parts of the world, it's helped them before. So we believe that it will equally help you. So we are here to get you to come and make all the mistake here, so that by the time you'll be with your interviewer on your May interview day, you will be shining like an expert. So come here and make all the mistake here. Don't be shy. Feel free and to express yourself. Hopefully, the sessions will go a long way to helping your journey. Basically, many of you know that EMGS as a company does a lot of things to enhance your journey, and hopefully, by the time you are eventually able to secure your job, let's say many of you need preparation for your OSC, our physical center will be able to accommodate and support you, or the online session will also be able to support you. Or for those of you that may end up embarking on self-sponsorship, or let's say you got a job, a trust that is telling you that, oh, we don't have money to sponsor you, you did well in this interview, we will have employed you, but we don't have money. EMGS as a company also can come to your aid by offering you tangible loan just to be able to get you to your dream country. We are targeting for now UK, Canada, Australia, and also Saudi Arabia. Yeah, recently we added Saudi Arabia to the package just to ensure that many persons are carried along on this journey, and people don't end up selling their all important property in the name of relocation. Because frankly speaking, the property that was bought for 700,000 a few years back, some are trading for 90 million now. So imagine you have sold your property in the name of trying to relocate, and then you now come and see the long impact of this. Sometimes it can be very, very devastating, especially if your relocation may not actually meet the way you actually was planning it should be. So that is basically that on the long side. Those are the story side of things. But we are here for interviews, and hopefully this session is going to be very, very impactful. Once again, welcome on board. For today's interview session, we'll try our best to categorize it into different areas, and hopefully, as I always say, it will go a long way to helping your journey. I have some jotting just to ensure that our sessions are coordinated, and it will be able to make meaning to what we are doing today. Now, when it comes to interview, I don't really want to talk so much. Again, there are other videos we've done previously when it comes to question and answers, how to approach questions, and so on and so forth. But today, I will start by addressing us on factors that may make you or mar you when it comes to your upcoming interviews. So we are not just saying this for the sake of saying, we are saying it so that you can be able to implement all these things that we'll be able to talk about today. And there are factors, we categorize them into 4 different factors. These factors are very, very essential that you put them properly into consideration before that your upcoming interview. Remember, there are 4 factors. And these 4 factors, 3 are under your control, but 1 is not under your control. So 3 are under your control, 1 is not under your control. And since 3 are under your control, you will want to work on what is on your control. Remember, it's even a popular saying that you should remove the stone in your eye before you begin to look at the graft in another person's eye. So if you solve problems that are under your control, chances are every other factor may coordinate themselves to work in line for your good. And number 1 factors that I want us to consider is the factor relating to you, the candidate. Now, you are the person that is going to be having this interview. So there are some things, if you put into consideration or you put in place, this interview is going to be smooth, and it's going to be a smooth sail for you. The first thing is your composure. How do you compose yourself on the day of your interview? Are you the type that is going to be tense? Are you the type that is going to be anxious? Remember, in every major event, although fear can be a sort of a proponent to help you in excelling, but being excessively fearful can actually mar your journey. So instead of you being scared of your interviewer, you have to be composed. You have to be calm. This is just an interview. It will come and go. You have had multiple interviews before. And most of these interviews we are dealing with now, these are international interviews. And if you are in the international space, you will see that all those big gap that you usually have in your present place of work, where the gap between the ward manager and the junior staff are so huge to the point that there's a huge communication breach. It's not so in the international community. So everybody are well carried along. So if you understand this, you will want to be what? You want to be calm and composed on the day of your interview. Maintain a calm, composed outlook. Smile where relevant. Doesn't mean that at all time your job is smiling. Smile where relevant. Just to, truth is, if you smile, as I'm smiling at you now, you see now some of you are smiling. So it's natural. That's how it is. But if you are squeezing face, me too, I will squeeze face. So eventually, everybody will have an anger outlook on the day of interview. We don't want that. Again, you need to be relaxed. You need to be relaxed. Be calm, smile where relevant, and be relaxed. Now, relaxation is important because if you are relaxed, the interviewer will equally have that composure to be able to interact well with you. So please see the interviewer as your what? Your friend. Don't see them as one big manager somewhere. It may also shock you that the person interviewing you may not necessarily know so much about the job role. Yeah, it happens. The person may not necessarily know so much about the job role. It's because it is his duty to do that interview. That's why most interview, they will have to get people within that setting, maybe your ward manager, as the case may be, or people within that center, so that they will be able to listen to those that are being granted the interview. So please take note of that. So those are the factors that relate to you personally. Now, there are factors also that relate to your environment. Now, your environment can equally make or mar your interview. Number one factors in your environment is what? The noise. I know that, yeah, there are some of you are just saying now that I have finally gotten this interview. I will not tell my neighbor, I will not tell my friend that I have interview. I will just lock myself and then I will grant this interview. After all, it's going to take an hour or 30 minutes. My dear, it is when you now start that interview that the devil will send somebody to come and knock on your door and start banging the door. James, come, oh, let's go and chat. So you don't want that situation. If you have informed James prior to the time of your interview, please mute your mic. If you have informed James prior to the time of your interview that you are going to be having interview by so and so time, James will do his best to prevent you from being distracted. So that is one thing that is very, very important. You have to do your bit to ensure that you are not distracted. That is factor relating to the environment. The other factor I want to quickly speak about as it relates to your environment is your lighting. Um, just a minute, let me admit these people in. Is your lighting. You can see now, I'm the one preparing you for your interview, but I have set up the space to make it look nice, to make it look attractive to a reasonable extent. So please don't do your interview anyhow. I understand very well that some of you may not have the best background in the whole world, but at least make a plain background. For some of you that knows how to operate your devices, you can actually do this with your Android phone or with your Zoom or with your Microsoft Team by simply changing your background. I'm not going to be teaching that on this session. You can go to Google or YouTube, and if you type how to change background on any app that you are going to be using for your interview, you are going to be able to find that. Why do you need to change background? You don't want to start holding the session, and then that is when your baby will be crawling at your own back. Sometimes it can show sign of not taking the interview quite seriously. So please, you don't want that to be your case. Now, another thing too is on your interview day, please have a pen and paper close by. Don't be that person that has been looking for an opportunity, and then when you now eventually get the opportunity, you take it for granted, because it will shock you on your interview day that your examiner or your interviewer may just ask you, if you were given a dose of so and so paracetamol and this was to be given, how much will you give? Then you will not be cramming it on your head. He say, or they will ask you that you've got a patient that have this parameter, he has this parameter as part of his vital signs. What would be your management? Now, you did not take note of all those parameters, or you put them in your head. At the beginning, you will hear that the blood pressure they give to you was 150/10. By the time you now start conversing, the 115 be turned to 120, to 115, to 109. Then you now begin to ask yourself, oh, wait, is this patient, or was this patient hypertensive or hypotensive? So please, you don't want to be in that lane. So have a pen and paper in your interview. It's not called cheating. Don't think that it's going to be, we did not classify that as cheating. In the beginning, you can make them know about it. While they are holding the session with you, you can just clearly say that I've got a pen and paper here, just in case there are anything that may warrant my jotting. And everybody will be more than happy. It even shows that you are more serious. Remember, in a case where everybody are so good in interview, the person that do something extra will always be considered first. Always have that at the back of your mind. Now, the third factor that you must be aware of when it comes to your interview is the factor relating to your appliances, your technology, your phone, your devices. Now, what are these factors? You may be having your interviews either on Microsoft Teams or Zoom. Zooms are very expensive to manage for a company. So most organizations now, they use Microsoft Teams because it's a lot more cheaper and cost effective. Now, it is not on your interview day that you are going to be downloading Teams. It's not on your interview day you are going to be downloading Microsoft Teams. There are some of you now that the interview link they send to you that you are going to be using for your virtual interview, you have never clicked on it. You have never asked yourself, what is the name of the app they are using? Do I have this app on my phone? You are waiting for that day, 10 minutes to that day. Then you just gauge off, sit up, chest out, and say, interview time, click. Then when you now click, they will now tell you, oh, this app is not available on your phone. Download on Google Play Store. Then network will not be doing you like this. Then you now say, oh, MTN, they are wicked. That your village people is glow back on. Oh, Airtel. I will never use Airtel again. No. Those are factors relating to technology that you could have actually done justice to by your own self, but you have not done your due diligence. Now you are shifting blame. So please don't be a victim. Even if you are not clicking on that link prior to your interview day, note the app. It will be written to you and say, you will have this session on a Microsoft Teams or on a Google Meet. Go to that app, go to Play Store. Even if you have the app before, go and check, is it updated, or you will need to update it? Because you don't want to click on your interview link 5 minutes to the interview time, and they will not tell you, update your app. Then you will now be updating app. Network will now be crumbling, slowing down. No, please. You don't want to be a victim of that. So those are still factors relating to technology. Now, the next one is the aspect of your phone being fully charged. You don't want a situation whereby you are not conscious of the battery capacity of your phone, and then in the middle of your interview, your phone will be saying, oh, 2%. I'll be asking the interviewer, oh, please, sorry, just few minutes to my phone switching off. Can I just get something to charge my phone? Sorry, I know. It shows that you are not serious. You understand? If you know that these things are under your control, now that you are knowing it, you will put everything into consideration. prior to that interview. Get your phone charged. See, the truth is, it's not easy. You are more the lucky ones that have gotten this interview. Interviews are not easy to get again, and it's not going to get easier. That's just the truth. We will hope that it will get easier, but it will not get easy. So that's just the truth. The reason why it will not get easier is because most people now, what used to be considered or trivialized, are now being taken seriously. Most international hospitals have a lot of international students that have relocated, many of whom are now switching to the so-called courses that you are currently doing now. Many of them, by the time they finish their course, will they return back to their original country? No. Many of them will become nurses in their new country where they have found themselves now. And most developed country, it's so easy to become a nurse if you have the funds. You don't need to study science courses or to have done a medical line before you can do MSc in nursing or BSc in nursing. So if you that is the case, it means that it's an open entry to majority of persons. So why there are encouragement for local people to go into the same profession, there are those who are already in the system that now come to realize that most courses, when they finish those courses, they don't usually get job. So they will do second masters in nursing. So before you know it, the competition is great. Many years back, it's not very difficult to pass interview, but nowadays it's quite difficult. So it's not survival of the fittest. That is why EMGS as a company is putting this platform all together to support your journey. And mind you, before I forget, um, there is a group. If you don't belong to that group, our Telegram group where we post past questions, please try your best to join and take advantage of those past questions that have been done by previous candidates. I am not the one putting the past question there. It is people like you that have done their interviews. So they share the past question to help others.
Oh,
Because truth be
okay.
said, past
This,
question
have you
sharp
tried to check the
up
connection on the
this
system?
connection on the system. Mute your mic. So the truth is, past question sharpens your implements. So when you have access to past questions, you can begin to anticipate what to expect. Most trust will not change their question. Even if they change, it's just little adjustments. It will still fall in line with similar pattern. But by the time you know and you know what to anticipate, you have an edge. You have a favorable advantage. Everybody in this world have one advantage or the other. The reason why you are more intelligent than your peer is not because you were born more intelligent than your peer. It is actually because of so many factors that play within your environment. It could be that you went to a very wonderful school. It could be that your parents took the extra mile to support your journey. So either way, something must happen to give somebody an undue advantage. And that is where ENGS past question group for international past questions comes into play. It will go a long way to help you. Start touching the pin messages. You will see quite a lot of past questions already sent that will help you. If not now, after this session, you can do that. So that is factors relating to what technology. Now, another factor relating to technology is your DP. Your DP. Your DP. When I mean your DP, I'm talking about what are you using as your picture. I can see that for this Zoom now, a majority of you do not have. Oh God, mute your mic. Who is this person? Uh, Mr. Andrew, yeah, thanks. So I can see that majority of you do not have a DP on your Zoom session now. So if you can, apart from, yes, somebody have Miss Na- Miss Natalia has as N. Maybe I will represent that as nurse. But anyway, if you can have a very wonderful picture of yourself that depicts your professionalism, you can put that as your DP with your name boldly written as Otaigbe His. My name is Otaigbe His. So your name will be boldly written Otaigbe His. Now, why do you need to do this? The truth is, when interviewers come to interview you, many of them will be giving your name. Some of them don't have your name. So when they have these sessions, some of them may need to recall everything that happened. And if you have your name boldly spelled out, it is very easy for the interviewer to write your name properly the way it should be. Even if you introduce yourself, there's what they call continuous repetition bring mastery. So by the time they are consistently seeing your name on their device, they will know that, okay, man, this is this person, and they can note your name against your performance. Now I can see some of you now are bearing iPad, some of you are bearing iPad, some of you are bearing, I think there's a Techno here. So don't bear those names; those are not your name. Some of you are just bearing a single name. Put your name in full. My name is Otaigbe His. The fuller version is Otaigbe His Okali. So I usually prefer Otaigbe His, how I want you to address me. So write your name accordingly like that on your device. Whether you are using Microsoft Teams or Zoom, whichever app that you are going to be using to access your interview. Now, all these factors I have mentioned so far, they are factors that are under your control. Nobody can tell you that these things, they will do it for you, except you will do it for yourself. Another thing you should also take note of is, I understand very well that some of you will not use your device to attend the interview. You will end up using another person's device. And that person's device you are using for your interview, you do not know what that person is using as his or her name. Do you know that some persons are using their name as sexy mama, baddest girl, bitch, baby gone wild? Because they have these devices being used for something else that you don't know about. So check the name that you are going to be appearing with. Yes, an average Briton may not care that your name is called Bad Bitch or Baby Gone Wild or Sexy Mama. But you see, we Nigerians, if I am granting interview now, I am seeing Bad Bitch, baby Mama, or an Indian. Indian, they are also very well cultured, and then they are now seeing sexy Jane. So that can bring a very, very negative impression. Now it will now be onioned on you to begin to start proving the wrong impression you are giving to them first, to prove that wrong impression to be right. Instead of you to be solving the problem of the question they are giving to you, in the mind of the interviewer, some of them, not all, you will first start by solving the problem that you have created for yourself, trying to create a good image. You understand? So you don't want to be that. Create a wonderful pedestrian so that everything flows simultaneously. Frankly speaking, remember, interview is an avenue for you to sell yourself. During your interview, nobody is concerned about your CV anymore. Your CV has given you that pedestrian to get to the point of being interviewed. Now, it is now left for you to show that you are good enough. And in order for you to prove that you are good enough, you will have to what? Show who you are. How do you show who you are? Nobody knows you now. This is not like a class. They will say, oh, he was the best graduating student. When this person step out, everybody will be clapping and he's going to deliver. No. Interviewer, they don't know you. So you are the one that will sell yourself. So sell yourself and sell yourself right. And if you have certain accolades, let's say in the course of your transition from school to work to getting to this point you are now, you acquire certain positions, certain skills that were unique or acquire certain leadership characteristics, or you graduated very well at the top of your class, or your project was recognized as the best and it was published. Anything at all that made you special at any phase of your life, my dear, don't ignore it during your interview. When an opportunity presents for you to say it, say it. Because if you miss the opportunity, the interviewer will never get to know about it. The truth is, why did you struggle through school? Why did you struggle to get all those accolades if it will never be useful? You were the best graduating student. Now it's interview time. You've kept your mouth shut. The whole interview session got finished. You could not mention that I finished at the top of my class. Even if you were the fourth best graduating student, you should be able to state that you finished at the top of your class in a class of 50 persons, emerging as number 4. That is laudable still. But you kept it mute because you were not number 1. And number 1 is still wallowing, thinking that God will do wonders. The wonder that God will do is in your mouth. So what you say matters a lot. Yes, no disposing the place of prayer. When you pray, you should also do your work. That's why they say prayer without work is anyway. Those are factors relating to yourself. Now, there are factors that are not under your control, and it's just one. So everything combined will now have 3 factors. Now, what are the factors that are not under your control? The interviewer. Yes, the interviewer is not under your control. The interviewer may have had a very bad mood swing. The interviewer may have had a very bad encounter with people of your color, people of your race, people of your geographical location. The interviewer may have all those things, but those are not under your control. But if you can control the first 3 factors, the interviewer will have no choice but to like your personality. You know, there are some persons, they will say, oh, they have a likable personality. When you just see them, you just like them. Those are still factors relating to the interviewer. You don't really have control over those, whether somebody is going to like you or not. But if you put your A game and you have done justice and you have done your due diligence, frankly speaking, the whole interview session, we have no choice but to what? To work in your favor. Now, as you are going for your upcoming interviews, there are areas, certain gray areas that you need to focus your attention on, just so you will be able to smash it. Definitely you will smash it. When we conduct interviews in our course, we usually pay attention to certain aspects. And this is not just peculiar to our trust, it goes round and round to other hospitals, to other facilities. So number 1 is the aspect of what the job was asking you for. Now, interview, in case you have not heard, write this down, is telling the examiner, telling the interviewer what they want to hear. What they want to hear. Why are they interviewing you? They have a set target for themselves. They are looking for certain characteristics, and they are looking for you to be able to have that certain characteristics to fit into their organization or into their trust. So if you don't have that characteristics, it's not that you are not good. It's just that you don't have it. So they will look out for someone who has it. Because if they are just looking for a random person, there's no need to conduct any interview. It is because they are looking for certain characteristics that they are calling you to now interview to know whether you are good. Truth is, I keep giving this adage, no matter how fast a monkey is, he cannot outrun a fish in the sea. And no matter how smart and fast a fish is, he cannot outsmart or outrun a monkey on the land. Even tortoise, the slowest animal, given time, will pass the fastest fish on land. You know why? What that statement simply tells you is, you are not bad. You didn't get that interview. It's not because you were not good enough. It simply may have been that you may not have told them what they are looking for, and they saw it somewhere else of somebody who have told them what they are looking for, and they now embrace that person. And it now makes it look as if, oh, you are now the person that is the odd one out. So not everything you will see it as, oh, you were not lucky. It might just be that you have not necessarily put the necessary things in place to make you lucky. Remember, luck is a product of readiness and opportunity. So when opportunity meets readiness, one become lucky. If we have not talked about you keeping your phone right now, maybe your child has used your phone to go and set up an account somewhere, Facebook, and say it's Ceci Jane, or Ceci Vic, Ceci John, or Ceci Ben. Then you do not know about those things, and then you appear Ceci John, and they see one advanced woman say, "Oh, she's sexy there." So you're already creating an unnecessary impression. So that is basically it on that. Now, looking at this question area to focus your attention on in terms of questioning. Number one is your personal specification. Now, question relating to personal specification has to do with, they will be asking you, tell me about yourself, why you want to work with the trust, what would you have to bring to the table, and so on and so forth. So those are questions relating to the person specification. How do you have answer to this question? Very simple. Go to the job that you apply for that gave you this um, interview. If you did not apply for it by yourself, maybe EMGS helped your application and you have not gotten all the other details, reach out to any of our vendor or any of our staff that does the application for you. Get the original application. Download the PDF, read it up, jot down relevant points. What are they looking for? What are the person specifications that they were looking for in the job description? What sort of person were they looking at? Now, make yourself that person. Fit into that role. You will get that job if you fit into that role. But the truth is, many will not fit into that role. They want to come and blast to the examiner what they know, or the interviewer what they know. But interviewer is not interested in what you know. They are looking for something. We are recruiting at the moment now. Our recruitment is ongoing. When we go for recruitment, we have certain criteria we have set out to HR and say, HR, this is what we are looking for. Please, any person that meet up with this, these are the people we want. If they don't meet up, sorry. So that is the same way. So read those personal specifications and what your job description. They are very, very important. Download, read them up, and integrate yourself with them. Now, what are the other areas that you may be questioned on? Second is what? Company-related questions or hospital-related questions. Now, they may be asking you, tell me about our values. Most of us, almost 80%, will center all their questions around their values. So please, I beg you, in the name of God, it is not on interview day that you will not be asking, what are their values? Oh, I never knew this can come. No. So know your trust value of heart. Know it. Use formula for it. Okay, can you tell me about our trust value? Where in the course of my application process, what actually attracted me to this job role was because of your value. I saw that you are interested in this, and that. And on critical examination, I see that these are the things that actually resonate with me personally. And I want to work with a trust whose values resonate with my personal values. And this will motivate me to always give my best to my patients at all times. So Particularly, I am very, very keen on the value that is centered on this. And this is how I have demonstrated this over time. If you answer questions like that, tell me, why would they not see you as somebody to bring to the trust? As against, they are asking you for their value. You do not even have idea. Yeah, then because you do not have idea, you will not create your own value because you are guessing. So please read about where you want to, because it's normal. How on earth can you say you want to go to a particular trust and you don't even know about it? Besides the fact that you know that they are going to pay you higher amount. So you are not concerned about whether the environment will be suitable for you, whether the trust is what you like. Who want to bring you in? They will not. They will consider other persons that have. The only reason they will bring you on board will be if they don't have option. Now they have options. If you look at this group now, there are, I don't know, usually let's say last session there were over 40 persons that were prepared for interview. Now, EMGS is not the only platform in the whole world, and all of you have proof of interview, right? So, if EMGS is not the only platform in Nigeria alone, there are other platforms, and there are 40 persons that got interview. Chances are there are other persons that do not even know about EMGS platform and what we are doing. So they too have gotten interview. As you have gotten interview, there are people in Ghana, people in Zimbabwe, people in other part of the Africa continent and Asia that have gotten interview too. So you have competition, competitors everywhere. So you will now have to prove yourself that you are the best of this role. That is why you have to give your A game. You have only one opportunity to prove yourself. You'll be practicing on the why, you'll be practicing on the why. Now you see the opportunity. You don't want to mar it, you want to make it. So that's basically it on company related questions. Now, there are questions that relate to scenario. This is where they want to know your etiquette, your ethics, your skills, how you are able to put certain things into action. What are your priority? How far do you really know your nursing? So question could be like um, so what will you do if you meet a patient on the floor? What will you do if you make a medication error? What will you do if you are having an abusive patient? What will you do if you are short staff on the ward? Let's assume you are the one managing a case. So these are some of the things that you should take note of. They are very, very important. You must know how to address all these questions. Most of these questions I have stated. Now, we've done it in previous videos. Take your time, go to those videos and watch them. It will only cost you data. Truth is, always look at what I stand to gain, not the initial pain now. What I stand to gain. If you eventually are able to achieve that dream that you are aiming for, you have a more stable life, you have more financial support, and most importantly, as you are struggling to say, oh, I want to relocate now, I want to relocate now, your children will not have to go through that terrain again. You've given them a higher pedestal. They will not be worrying about something else because, frankly speaking, if your older children have done your parents have done the work for you, you won't have needed to be doing this. My children now will not be concerned about whether they want to travel to UK or US or anything. They will be born citizen and they can go anywhere they want. Their major aim will not be, daddy, how do we become wealthy? How do we do this? How do we do that? What record can we set and break? You understand? So you give them another pedestrian. So think in that line, the gain that you will make, that is warranting this sacrifice you are making now. So don't allow this sacrifice you are making now to overshadow the gain that you intend making afterwards. So very, very important. All these things we have said, how to approach this question. are available in our previous interview sessions. So please, if you can, try and take advantage of them. Now, other area to focus your attention on as far as question is concerned, which is number 4, is general question. What are the general questions? They may be asking you questions relating to infection and disease control, your day-to-day activities as a nurse, and your responsibility. How have you been an in-charge nurse? How did you call patient, and so on and so forth? Somebody is asking, where can you access the previous video? It's not hard. It's available on YouTube. If you belong to any of our Telegram platform where we share all these past questions, I think that group has over 8,000 members now, and it will keep growing. If you belong to any of those groups, use pin messages. You click to the pin messages until you see previous sessions of our interview preparation. These sessions, they are one-to-one conversation. You speak, you hear somebody speak, we analyze them, and then we critique, and then we make recommendation. So those will really go a long way to helping you. Now, as I was saying, these are general questions, and these general questions could be, how do you prevent infection and diseases in the hospital? What are your day-to-day activity as a nurse? How do you prevent medication error? How do you escalate medication-related error? How do you manage conflict? They could ask you questions related to 7 pillars of clinical governance. We're not going to be discussing 7 pillars of clinical governance here. Don't worry. You will do your due diligence. Google it. Besides googling it, you can watch our previous videos, how you can use those 7 pillars of clinical governance to be able to manage a hospital or a ward, because it can just come. They will not tell you 7 pillars of clinical governance. They will ask about your knowledge about clinical governance. So please take note of that. And mind you, there are some of you here that are having a Band 6 related interview. Don't go there and be thinking that you are not going to get it too. I have a few of them in my DM now. They are coming to the UK very soon. Gotten Band 6 straight from Nigeria. You understand? So it is realistic. You can get Band 6 straight from Nigeria, straight from Ghana, and straight from any part of the world. It is realistic. It is realistic. So put in your best. Don't go there and say, let me just do it anyhow, because I may not get it. You will get it too. So you have to do your bit. Show them that you got the honor. They say do presentation. Do the presentation. Arrange it properly. You see now, as I have been talking since now, there's synergy, right? The synergy is not because Otaigbe is super intelligent. No. Because I knew I'm going to hold interview preparation session with my community. And what will I do? I do my due diligence. I took down notes and say, as I meet these people today, let me have a coordinated session with them. I want to start with what they need to be aware of. Then I will progress my way to factors that can affect their journey. And then I can now put again, what do they need to know? Where can the question come from? You see, it is organized. That is how you should organize your interview session. That is how you should organize your talk. It is not your interview day you will start practicing how to talk. That's why we usually say, join our interview preparatory session and come to make all the mistake in the world. If you have a husband, you have a wife, or you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, use them to your advantage. Give them possible question. Come, darling, come here. I beg you, come. Ask me a question. Let me answer you. Read this thing for me. I will answer you. Tell me how I do. Okay, no problem. I will try my best. I will try my best. That was how my wife and I used to do back then, many, many years back, while we were still kids on this journey. We were not married, though. We were still baby. But now we've gone far, right? Yeah, we've gone far. But it work for us doesn't mean it cannot work for you. It can. The person don't need to be a nurse. It doesn't need to be a doctor. He can actually assess you to a reasonable extent. Tell me, what have I done wrong? Those things that you say you have done wrong, critically analyze it. Okay, is this right? Okay, I can improve on it. The truth is, your communication cannot be smooth unless you do it frequently. When you do it frequently, the boldness appears. Everything come and fall in line. It's not on the day of your interview you should be talking about how to talk about yourself. If you tell me about yourself 20 times, the next time you are doing the 21st time about yourself, it will be so smooth. Tell me about yourself. My name is Otaigbe His. I'm a registered nurse based in the UK. Prior to this time, I once worked in so and so hospital back home in Nigeria, where I took care of this. This was after my internship program that lasted for roughly a year, where I learned under the tutelage of so and so. Following the completion of my internship program, I was one of the outstanding nurses, and this prompted for me to be retained in the hospital. At this time, I was also awarded as one of the best nurses for so and so year. And through this period, I was able to work with this, using the nursing process. And I am dedicated, goal-driven, someone who is this, and this. As it relates to your personal specification, then you wrap up. Those things now may seem very casual. Otaigbe, I see how the way just analyze and it makes sense. Now lie. You know how many times I practice all these things before it now makes sense. So don't be ask YouTubers. If you ever attempt to make YouTube, many of them make corrected video multiple times before they can now come to camera and they will just be fluent. It doesn't happen suddenly. Put all the work, put all the efforts, and look at where you are going to. That you are the shining light that can liberate your family. You are already liberated, but at least you have a higher pedestal. Light not the off. Everything you need, you will have less to worry about. Accident, see, it's Ember month that is coming now. In most developed countries, the only thing you are concerned about is you are hearing that they are saying war is in so and so place. It's like what they say in the Bible, that you will use ear and be hearing of war, that there will be war. You understand? Your average salary is your hunger will not be your problem. What you will eat tomorrow, your average salary will take care of feeding. The only thing your average salary may not take care of is for you to be worthy. And salary never makes anybody worthy. So if your average salary takes care of all your basic needs, you will not be spending money to be saying you want to go and buy fuel. I can't remember the last time I sat my eye on generator. You understand? So if you are not going to be using your money to buy fuel, buy all those things, you only buy food, maybe pay for your transport and your house bills. Unlike where you will pay for card, so many things. You understand? So if your colleague are telling you that, it's not easy anywhere, this one, yes, it's not easy, but you have to choose where you want your easy to be. Because most of your colleagues that are telling you it's not easy anywhere, they know they return back. Have you not asked them? Because if they return back, to like giving them a higher pedestal. But that is on the wayside. I'm just trying to encourage you so that you look at what is ahead of you and put in the work. Use your boyfriend to your advantage. Use your girlfriend to your advantage. Use your husband and use your wife. Sit down, arrange the table. Honey, how do I look? See now, you think I'm always like that. If I stand on, you may see that I'm wearing short knicker. I'm standing like this to look appealing to you so that you can know that this is serious. So that is how you should appear on your day of your interview. Appear serious. So this is very, very important. Now, you also need to learn about the CCs of nursing. All those the CCs, care, compassion. If you go to Google and type CCs of nursing, they will they will all come out. So please take note of that. Now, the NMC code as well. You should have idea of the NMC code, such as practice effectively, promote professionalism, and trust, promote patient safety, and so on and so forth. So please have those at the back of your finger. Again, we've utilized all these things before in our previous interview sessions, and they are all available on YouTube. Express Med Global, the same YouTube you are finding yourself now. They are also available on our Telegram group, where we post past questions, myriad of them, countless of them. Don't say because you are going to Bristol or because you are going to Manchester, you see question that was asked in London NHS. You will say, oh, this is irrelevant. The truth is, this same Bristol and London NHS, they may be different, but critically, what do they call the NHS? You are going to Abata AHS, then another person is not using Abata, is using Nova Scotia. Then you see questions relating to Abata, you ignore it. You say, oh, it's Nova Scotia. Nova Scotia, I'm looking for Nova Scotia. Why don't you get used to Abata? And then you can now see how Nova Scotia will go, whether you will not do well. Certainly you will do well. Now, there are some questions you should anticipate, especially for those of you that are going to Canada or US that are part of this session. Many of your trusts may want to know what are the carrying capacity of your current working environment. Where you are working now, is it acute or is it just a small hospital? It is not on that exam day you will be guessing. Ask yourself these questions. What are they anticipating? Are they looking for over 1,000 bedded ward, over 500 bedded ward? If that's what they are looking for, give it to them now. Give it to them. So that is basically it on that. And also know the various conditions that is being managed in your hospital, in your ward. Yeah, you can be very super intelligent, and one question can just flag you off balance. And because you are flagged off balance, it might not be difficult for you to perform well in subsequent questions. You don't want that to be your case. Know yourself. Know yourself. If you know the place you work, ask yourself, what are the common conditions being managed in this hospital? List them out. Or being managed in this ward, list them out. Especially if you are going to be interviewed for similar work, because they may ask you, what conditions have you managed in your current ward? And then you will now be saying, we manage cardiac-related patients, M. So you don't want to M. So you want to be sharp. And they are asking you, you are giving to them hot. Like someone that have done his or her own due diligence. Now, that is basically it on that. And before we proceed further, an hour has gone. So, can I ask, is there any question? Is there any question?
Yes, I have a question.
All right, go ahead, Nurse Ami.
Okay. Thank you so much for the session. It's really engaging. Okay, my question is this. If an interviewer asks a question that goes like this, what attracted you to the position? What attracted you to this role? Is it necessary to start bringing in the trust values and everything, or is it just the role that is being asked about? That's the
Okay,
question.
all right, thank you. Thank you so very much. Yeah, it's very necessary to bring in the trust value if you know the trust value. Now, it's like the first thing you ask yourself, why are they asking you what attracted you to the role? They are asking you to see that if what attracted you to the role is what they are looking for. Now, what are they looking for? They are looking for someone who will fit into their system. Every hospital have a system, even EMGS as a company. With over 90 staff at the moment, we have a system that we operate. Did you see me adding you to this group? No, I have not added you to this group. Somebody else added you to this group. She is the head of the job application department, right? The time you may have seen me was maybe you saw my post somewhere. You may have even chatted me and I may not have replied. There are people that reply messages. So those are ways system work. So if I am expecting you to join our company now, we want to see, at least, even if you don't have all the knowledge, a little bit of a brief that you can fit into our system. That's where the trust value comes into play. When you reference the trust value, then you will now reference what the job is about that attracted you. Like, let's say they are looking for a registered nurse who will be dynamic and flexible and able to carry out a wide range of shifts pattern. Then that's when you will now say yourself and say, having read through the job description, I saw they were looking out for so and so person, which is exactly me. It was as if the application was conversing directly to me because I have all these characteristics. I am dedicated. I work multiple various shape pattern. Um, at the moment, I am recognized as one of the top nurse to call upon in the case of staff shortages. When employer hear that one, they will say, okay, this one go dey hardworking well. Top nurse when dem dey call upon when staff shortages dey on ground. When dey always dey get extra shift. So we will not be relying on agency bringing such a person into our trust. So as you are giving them what they want to hear, the thing will be ringing in their mind that you are the right person for this role. Is that understood?
Yes, perfectly said. Thank you. Yeah,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
for
much, ma.
answering.
Thank you, ma. Is there any other question before we take it a step further?
Yes, sir, I have a question.
All right, go ahead, ma.
Okay, many times after preparing, reading so many questions, you
Yes,
get to an interview asking you things that you didn't even prepare for,
yes.
and you're now confused. How do you handle such situation?
Okay, so that is where being broad comes into play. You know what causes this issue of being through all banners is limitation. Now, what are the limitations? Is I reference it in a way. Now, somebody is preparing for interview for Abata, and then he score Nova Scotia. He will ignore and say, "Oh, it's Abata that is my own." Some persons are preparing for interview for North Bristol. Then they will see Newcastle. They will see Liverpool. They will see London. They will see different ones. They will say, this one is not what I'm looking for. Have you gone to go to our Telegram group? There are some persons, they will just come and be saying, does anyone have interview for this particular trust? They will say, no, use pin messages. There are other questions that may help you. Say, no, I've checked. There is none. I'm looking for so and so interview question. That's a death trap. You know why it's a death trap? By the time you go straight to the interview that was done by Royal Manchester, if there's a hospital like that, and then when that interview was done for this person, it could be that it was done in the medical department, or it was done in the renal unit, or it was done in the surgical department. You do not know if your own is going to be in cardiology. Now you are expecting the exact same question pattern. It doesn't work that way. If you expose yourself widely, have an answer to any question that can potentially come. Don't restrict yourself to EMGS as a company. Go to Google, common interview questions. Now, why EMGS is good is because it's raw. Is what you've heard, which you too will do for the company. By the time you finish your whole interview, you will still compile and send to the head of our job application member who will share it on the group. Those interviews, they are not helping me. It's not me that needs it. It is people that will keep coming. Instead of them struggling tomorrow, you will have already laid a solid foundation for their future. So if you have yourself exposed to multiple type of questions, you no get where you want come from. You will have idea. You understand? See, it's like passing a driver test. When you are learning driving training or you are practicing for NCLEX, go and take a random NCLEX question. You will do 50. You can, even if you are a very wonderful nurse in Nigeria or in Ghana, you will hardly be able to get up to 30%. But give it some time consistently. Expose yourself to diverse questions. You will now begin to see that there is an expert in you. It's the same thing. So by the time you expose yourself to limitless questions, go to the group. There are over 1,000 questions on the group now. If you are able to consume like 500, that is an exposure. There are Canada questions, there are UK related questions, there are those that are not, that are Saudi. After it, as you can have adjust to, before you know it, your wide range increases. And if there's a question that's entirely off your scope, you understand, you can always be diplomatic and provide answer accordingly. So that is basically it on that. Or do you have such question now that you feel will throw us balance so that we can ask our family here and see if they will also be able to answer? Is there any of such question, or it's not coming now?
No, it's not coming now. I also have another question. I wanted to know if we can answer questions using AI. Like if Google doesn't have the answer, can we use AI to generate the answer, then study it?
Yeah, it depends. You know, AI may not be medically inclined. It all depends. Depends. We are all adults and we have wide range of knowledge. If you use AI to answer your question, you will have to review. If the answer being given to you by AI seems to be accurate, why don't you use it? You use it. If it's accurate enough, you use it. If it's not accurate enough, that's when you will be doubting whether you should or you should not. So please, if accurate, if it's accurate, and then you cannot make it personalized by relating it to your personal self and your practice. All right. Thank you. Any other question? Any other question before I move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go
Thank you
ahead.
very much.
Go ahead, man.
Yes, I have consign. I was to take an interview for band 7,
Hey,
CECA
geez,
practitioner.
geez, that's
So
huge. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, that's huge, and I'm kind of worried.
Yeah.
And then that same day, there's
Mhm.
an open day I heard that is big. So I'm now confused. Can they be able to shift it? And is it advisable for me to go ahead with the band 7 rather than going for open day band 5, which is huge? And
Oh,
if they are doing this interview for strictly theaters, is there a
mhm.
possibility that they may say, okay, since you're a fresher, they will give you another role rather than band 7?
Yeah. Okay. So let's approach it like this. That means you're already based in the UK, right?
Yes, sir. No.
Okay. All right. So let's approach it like this. You have to look at the one which is virtual. So anyone that is virtual is not on is not under is under your control. Yeah, yeah. Virtual is under your control. The one that is open day recruitment is not under your control. You cannot shift that day. You understand? It may be the lower role, but it's not under your control. There's what they call a bird and hand worth more than thousands in the bush. So what I'm trying to say in essence is you can compose a very appealing email that you'll be preparing for this interview. It will be an honor to be able to participate and be able to join the trust if it's possible. But at the moment, you will want to really appeal. If your interview date can be adjusted to any time within next week that will fit within their schedule, as you have something that is urgent that was scheduled for that same day. You have tried every means to reschedule, but it has not been realistic. So this is a humble appeal from you. Frankly speaking, These people, they will adjust that your band 7 rule. They will change it for you. When they change it for you, you will now focus on that band 5 first. That you know is an open day recruitment. Then you now hold that band 5 for your hand first. Your confidence for that band 7 will increase by the time you have gotten the band 5 role. So when you now go to the band 5 role, you will give it to them straight and straight. The truth is, the mistake many of you usually make is you think that when you come to the UK, because you have bands, you are being interviewed for band 6, that suddenly you may not, you are being interviewed for band 5 always, and you now have a band 6 role, you will not get it, or band 7, you will not get it. No, it is your antecedent that really matters and what you are able to bring to the table. Nobody that will not go through training. When I became band 6, I still went through training. My wife is a band 6. She went through training. You understand what I'm saying? You will still go through training to be able to meet the requirements. Are you getting it? As an examiner, I went through series of training. So you will go to training. So don't worry about, my knowledge is not strong enough, I don't seem to be sound enough. Don't worry about those things. Your knowledge will become strong when you go through training. You that have been practicing since, all they just want to see is you have this already inbuilt managerial skills, because band 6, band 7 are managerial role. You understand? So please don't ignore it. Take advantage of it and take it one step at a time. All right? Thank you, ma'am. Any
Thank you
other
so much.
question? Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Any other question before we take it a step further? Okay. In the absence of no other question, we have spent over an hour now. We are climbing over 30 minutes. I know some people don't like a session being too long, but today I want to challenge your understanding of what we have spoken about so far, and also challenge your knowing what is supposed to be known. Because if you know what the examiner is expecting, you should be able to do well in your interview, especially if you are taking advantage of our previous interview sessions. Now, these are going to be question and answer. I will ask a question. I will ask for someone to try and respond. If nobody is responding, I will be calling names. So number one is, now, it goes like this. I've written it down. Now, let's focus today primarily on knowing whether you really know what the interviewer want to hear per question. Remember, I told you the interview is what? Telling the interviewer what they want to hear. Now, let's know whether you really know what they want to hear. Now, this is a question from Bristol Royal Hospital, Children Department. It was posted on the 12th of 9th, 2024. This is quite recent, shared on our interview group. I just copied it from there. So the person said the interview took them about 20 minutes to get it done. And there were about 2 interviewers that came in the session. Now, the first question was, explain how you demonstrate one of the trust value. Who can tell me, why is the interviewer asking this question? What does the interviewer want to hear here? What does the interviewer want to hear by asking you, explain how you demonstrate one of the trust values? Anyone attempt?
The interviewer wants to hear the trust values, what you know about trust values, and to explain a scenario where you actually demonstrated the trust values.
Right, correct, sharp. You see? So if you have that knowledge now, that is what the interviewer is expecting, you will what? You will give it to the interviewer that way. You will have no issue. All right? And before I forget, if there's any question that was asked to you that threw you off balance, never allow it to affect your subsequent answers. Let bygone be bygone. Let those ones that you cannot answer, let it be. And focus your attention on what you can answer. The truth is, you may think you may not have answered them right. The interviewer may have seen it that you have done well. It's like tension. Tension is first felt by the person that is being tense before the external person will start experiencing it. When I started this session with you just now, my mouth was shaking small, because it's been a while since I communicate on Zoom like this, apart from when we are holding tutorials. Did you see it in my face? No. It's in my body that I experience it. Now, as session continues, I grew in confidence, which is normal of every human being. So, if you did not see it in my face, if I have not told you, will you know? No. So, why on earth will you not allow, let's say, the bad experience you probably think you had that somebody is not even aware to affect the next session? You understand? Sometimes you can even lie with confidence and the lie will look more real than the truth. So be very, very careful before you use your hand to spoil what you have already built in the name of you felt you have not done well. Now, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. You were quite direct. Does any other one have an opinion on that? Or I move to the next question. Okay, to save time, let me move to the next question. The next question is, they say, give scenario where you show good communication skills. Do you know what they are asking in this question? Give a scenario where you showed good communication skill. What does the interviewer want to hear? Can anyone attempt?
Yes,
Okay.
it means that where you are able to explain probably to a patient what the patient should know in a
Oh,
simple sentences, avoiding medical jargons, where you are
oh,
able to pass a message, and having passed that message, you are able to also get a feedback from the person that the person understood what you are trying to tell him or her.
oh, great. That's good. That's good. Kudos. Does anyone have any other thing to add? Okay. So basically, everything she said.
I have.
Yeah,
Oh,
go ahead. Go ahead, ma. Go ahead.
All right. An interviewer asking how you communicate with patients or anything related to communication. I
Mhm.
feel they want to know how effectively you are able to relay informations, both informations that are very discreet to a
Yeah.
patient or their families. How you are able to calm down and relay information professionally,
Yeah.
and also even in environments that are kind of threatening, how you are still able to maintain professionalism in relaying any information without any uproar or any or causing any uproar while communicating. So I think it's also depending on your like how you're calm, your tone of voice, and
Yeah.
also your approach to
Yeah.
patients, to relaying information to patients.
Yeah.
Hello, good
Thank you
evening.
so. Yeah. Good evening, ma. Thank you so much.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah. Thank you, ma.
Yeah, thank you, sir. I would like to say that we should not forget as a nurse that communication is part of one of the skills that nurses should have. They would like to know whether you understand what they're trying to talk about communication skill. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, ma. Thank you. So
Evening. Can I say something, sir?
yeah. Good evening. Go ahead, ma.
All right. I'll also say that because they want to also ascertain that you're aware that communication is a vital tool in nursing. So they want to know how you're able to communicate within your team, other multidisciplinary team, and then the patient and patient relatives, and also in verbal and also written. Sometimes we finish, talking, advocating for patients. Doing handover is a form of communication. Reporting to doctors or physicians or physiotherapists is a form of communication. And doing a report through what's it called, the computer, to your manager is also a form of written report. They also want to know whether you're capable
Yeah.
to handle it.
Yeah, big kudos to you as well. You've actually basically nailed it and summed it up. You can see communication is versatile, it's all encompassing. So communication has to do with written, verbal, non-verbal. You understand? So they want to see how are you able to put all these things into place, and does it fit into what they are looking for? You understand? Now, as a nurse, if you are not working in the community, they are not expecting you to be a public speaker, but they expect you to be able to communicate with the patient, your fellow nurses, and your co-workers. So you will now have to put yourself in that scenario. Ask yourself, oh, these people, they're asking me about communication. Okay, so they want to know, how am I able to relate well with my co-workers, my patients, and my fellow nurses? If you put this into consideration, then you will now be thinking of your previous experiences and then your documentation, which are what? Are part of communication flow. Because in nursing, it is agreed that if it's not documented, it is not done. So good and good for everyone that attempted. Now, there's another question I want to ask. Is someone speaking? Okay, so sorry, let me continue. They will ask you a
Sorry,
question.
Mr. Otaigbe.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello, sir. Please, there is this interview that was conducted around November last year.
Yes.
I have to call the team that I would like to know my reply why I was not picked.
Yes.
And I was made to understand that all the answers that I gave to them was so short.
Okay. Oh, was
I
so
think
short.
Yeah.
Okay.
That I didn't. Do they expect me to be citing example in everything they were asking me, or what?
Okay. So let me take it from here now. So the thing is, most trusts have their principles. There are some they will want you to be brief and straight to the point. There are some they will want you to be very, very detailed. Most of the time, the question will not be, how do you know the trust that wants you to be detailed and the one that wants you to be brief? Now, there's always a rule of thumb. If a question is not relating to tell me about yourself, which you know that, oh, please, I will remove you. If I remove you, you'll never come back. Please, Nurse Osarugwe, please mute your mic. I will remove you, I beg. Please, mute your mic, eh? Thank you so much. So, now, there are some questions. Let me give an example now. If they say, tell me about yourself, I gave you a guide just now how to tell you about yourself. Your tell me about yourself will focus on your name. You don't need to say I'm a registered nurse in Nigeria. You don't need to say I'm a registered nurse in Ghana, because you don't know the experiences these people have had with those persons, because interview is supposed to be free flow. You understand? So you don't need to mention your country. If you must, no problem. But if you can avoid it, just do away without it and really give your answers. So once you are able to do your introduction from your name, you progress to where you school. From where you school. When I mean where you school, I call it academic summary. You are talking about where you did your secondary school. If you have 2 degrees or you had the ROM before your BNSC, you summarize accordingly, and then you can now progress to your work history. When you progress to your work history, you don't need to start mentioning where we take care of patient that is this, patient that is that, patient that is this. Just say where we use nursing process to manage conditions relating to this, that, as you have seen in their personal specification. And then you now summarize your skills. Your skill could be that you are determined, you are patient centered, you are goal oriented, you have good communication skills, and so on and so forth. What we usually recommend in EMGS is choose two of your personal value, like your personal skills, 2 of your skills, and then take 3 from their value. If their value is 4, take 3. You don't need to say their value directly, say it indirectly. If, for instance, their value is, let's say, communication, you can say that you are good in interaction, and you interact well with both the healthcare professionals and the non-healthcare staff, and uniting everyone to help in patient well-being. So indirectly communicate some of their values. You don't need to lift it so that it don't look as if you are just doing copy copia. So that is basically it on that. That is direct. Now, for questions that are not direct, let's say now they are asking you, tell me how you have managed a patient with a high temperature. Okay, let me give you an example. You are a surgical nurse. You had a patient who is post-op that is currently running a temperature with a temperature of 38.9. What are your actions as a nurse? So these are questions that requires elaborate. So if you can be elaborate that they will need to stop you, go ahead. See, Usain Bolt, the world's fastest man, says that he practiced for up to 4 years for the Olympic, only to come around for less than 10 seconds, or be less than 15 seconds, less than 20 seconds. You understand? But he was practicing for 4 years to come around for less than 20 seconds. You know what that means? It means that you have been practicing all your life for this session. So when this session comes, you bring in your A game. Now they are asking you, now, a patient that have sepsis. Now be thinking of, okay, the first thing is symptomatic management. And when you talk professionally. For a patient with sepsis, first and foremost, I will focus on symptomatic management. I will have to expose nearby curtains, keep the patient comfy, or expose nearby window. If necessary, I will have to respond this patient. I will continuously check the patient vital signs, focusing on the temperature, and I will also escalate this to the rest of the team. Knowing fully well that this is a surgical patient who has had a post-op, I will also be concerned about checking the wound site. I will assist in the wound dressing, and if there is any sign of infection, such as pallor, such as redness, such as odor or pain within the patient site, I will ensure that an immediate sample is sent to the lab for analysis. The outcome of this, I will equally ensure that is thoroughly followed, and I will inform the doctors to prescribe the appropriate antibiotics that can be used for the management of my patients. Once these are prescribed, I will also ensure that they are administered as at when due, taking into cognizance that this patient will be needing some fluids. I will also ensure that these fluids are prescribed accordingly. When these fluids are prescribed, I will also keep an eye on the word fluid balance, ensuring that my patient input and output charts are well monitored. I will also involve the services of other multidisciplinary teams whose effort may be needed on this patient management via referrals or appropriate referrals. Now, when you answer questions like this, you see now, I started from symptomatic management. Patient was running temperature. I did not just say I will take sponge, I will do this and this. I now said, what is the root cause? The root cause could be infection, right? Now I now talk about how do we manage the infection. From how do we manage the infection now, then we now talk about, they will now prescribe. I did not just say I will get them to prescribe alone. I say I will administer. Now that I have administered, I did not stop there. I now say I will continuously monitor the patient and ensure that the patient is stable. Then you can now proceed further and say, I will also provide relevant health education to my patient so that there will not be reoccurrence. I will let the patient know possible causes of infection and how he can stay away from this. I will also encourage my patient to eat adequate balanced diet, as this could help in wound healing. Vitamin C is one balanced diet. It's one meal or one essential vitamin that we can get from our daily meal or from our fruits and veggies. And I will encourage my patients to imbibe this habit of taking at least one fruit per day. Okay, wait. If you are the examiner now or you are the interviewer, and systematically I have answered a question like this, will you say I did not go deep? No, I have even exposed the examiner or the interviewer to area that he didn't probably consider. Are you getting? So that is how to go. But it cannot happen suddenly. It happens with frequency. When you have attend sessions like this, now you hear what Otagbe said. Yeah, you have forgotten, no problem. Then when we now upload this thing on YouTube, now you will now go there and put your data to you, watch it again and say, what was he saying about this management? You will not just listen. You will write some things down and say, okay, he thought about symptomatic management. This thing I just said now, it goes on and on for almost every condition. Is he patient with heart failure? You first of all be concerned about the symptomatic management first before you can be treating cause. Is it whatsoever condition it is? Symptomatic management. So patient had a fall. You say the patient had a fall, that the first thing you go and do is to go and wear his stockings because it was not wearing stockings. That was why he fall. No. Symptomatic management first. What is the first thing? Create room for safety so that the patient does not get worse. Because if you manage the symptoms, things will not get worse. Create room for safety. When you create room for safety, you cannot proceed to say, what can I do subsequently to ensure that it doesn't happen again? So it's not that you have not done well in your subsequent interview, in your previous interview. It is because they saw somebody else that was more elaborate. That was when they now realized that you were not elaborate. Because if all of them were not elaborate and you were probably the best person, they have no choice but to choose you. You understand? You gave them option. So next time, and when you see them, you will give it to them hot. By the time they finish from the session, all of them will be the ones sweating and saying, did you see that lady? Oh my God, she's good, man. She's good. You understand what I mean? So that's basically it on that. All right? All right. Thank you so much. Let me proceed to unlock my phone. So I'm going to another trust now. This is Bessie Cadwallader University Headboard interview questions. This was sent on 19th of 9, 2024. Some of the questions asked. They are asking, tell me about your nursing experience. Don't answer the question for me. What do you think they are asking, why they are asking you to tell them about your nursing experience? Can anyone provide an answer? Okay. Now, to save time, they are asking because they want to know if your own experience has any usefulness to their own. They are not trying to know your experience. Nobody care about you. They care about their trust. So they want to know, do your experience really have a place in their own, or is the one that will give them stress? So if you have know a little bit about their experience, you cannot carve in your way, make your way look suitable to the ones that they are looking for. And where do you know their experience? They will have told you in their job description. They may be telling you they want somebody who is able to cannulate. They may be telling you who is able to catheterize. Somebody who is able to work with time. Somebody who is dynamic. Those are what they may be looking for. Then when you are now giving your answer, your example will be reflecting all those things. Then you work in children's hospital where you were able to utilize your skills. All this while, you can even create a name for yourself. The cannula nurse. The cannula nurse. Because they know that it's only you that can cannulate a patient when others have failed. Is that not a unique skill? Some of you have these skills. Cannulation is your birthright. Now, you are in your interview day, you will not be forgetting. I don't want to say that one, no. I don't want to say that one, no. Another person will say it and get the crown. Then you will be saying, I don't want to say that one, no. I don't want to say that one, no. So you want to bring in your A game. Show them why you are unique, why you are best for this role. Because you know that you have competitors. So please, that is basically it on that. Time is fast spent. So I'm going to end the session here today. If I'm still able to, we may still be able to organize another session where we'll be able to interact. We'll throw you question, but you will answer. We throw you question, we will answer. If I continue like this now and I introduce that, my dear, we are going to have another 3 hours. So your promise for me, or what I want you to do for me, go to the group. There are myriad of questions. Speak to your partner. Speak to your pikin. Tell them that they should ask you this question and you will answer. If you don't know how to approach them, go to our previous sessions. That's how we attempt it. Today is the first day I'm talking like this and I'll be asking you, do you really know what the examiner want to hear? I always say, tell the examiner what they want to hear, but I have never shown you how to tell the examiner what you want to hear. Everybody always say, think. Only if you will tell you how to think. So I'm use this session to tell you how to know what the examiner anticipates. So please do your due diligence and go through those past questions on the group. Read them out and loud. Provide answers. Yes, your knowledge is constrained. Your knowledge is limited. If you did not hear me say just now that you will also take cognizance of the fact that there could be infection based on the fact that the patient was a post-op patient, and also you will continue to administer fluids if prescribed, and also monitor input and output. Your knowledge may not have gotten that far. So it's not enough for you to just read the question and answer by yourself, because when you answer by yourself, your answer within the limitation of your knowledge. So sometimes exposure to a higher knowledge can give you a higher grant for success. So that's why I said take advantage of the previous session that we've had before, because in those sessions, many of them are now in the UK. Many of them were holding this session. They answer multiple answers. You see now, I said, why do they need communication? Some people say because of this, some people say because of that. If you combine, you will not have a robust answer. But if you just rely on one person's opinion, you may not be able to get the very best. And that's what we always say. Because you are a member of EMGS platform, it's not limiting you from sourcing information anywhere else. Now, make you succeed. Now, it be our own, so that you can achieve your goal. If it's a location that is your goal, at least you will relocate. You know that one don't still come out. You now know what is the next plan. So that is basically it. Again, when you finish your session, the head of our team will reach out to you and we will post it on the group for you to post your past questions to us or to the group directly, so that we can keep helping those that are going to be writing their exam in the future. Please, you did not pay me for this time. For your information, you cannot pay me. And that's just the truth. I don't know your current status. I don't know your current place, but frankly speaking, you cannot pay me. I have put in my time for this to make sure that your better. The best you can also do for us is anything that relates to EMGS, carry it positively to also ensure that it helps another person's journey. Don't hold information. Don't see your next person as is the one that will spoil your journey when you could have asked questions. Because take for instance now, a lot of persons are experiencing visa denial. Somebody was applying for visa application, 2 friends, the other one was telling you this I'm doing it, I'm doing it the process, I'm using this company to do my process. The other one was keeping his own on his chest. And before me, I don't want them to know. When he got denial, everybody got to know about it. You understand? So there are some information that can help you to scale faster. Join groups. Don't be thinking, oh, if I join group now, they will hack my phone. Something must kill a man, but not be that one will kill you. You need one information to scale. So please, thank you so much for giving me your time and attention today. And my name is Remel Taigbe His once again. Do everything we say you should do. And if you have any further questions, try and communicate it to the head of our job application department, which you already should know by now because she added you to this group. Sincerely, I appreciate her because she has been very, very up and doing. It's not easy. There are myriad of persons that will have chatted and say, I want to join the interview group, especially those that don't have proof of interview. So she will reply. Sometimes some of you say, just people don't reply message. It's not easy. Like, frankly, it's not easy. Over 90 staff is still not easy. So, frankly, not that we don't want to reply. We want to. But if you join group, it makes things easier for us. We've seen that we've collapsed most of our admin and reduced it to only customer care department that are admin. Now somebody will still come to my DM, oh, Tagbe, reply me directly. If you I want, as if I am the husband or the wife. It's not like that. See? As I'm here now, people are in this thing asking, it's you I want, it's you I want. Think now, you cannot be in 2 places at the same time. Otherwise, you'll be distracted. So we remain family. We want you to succeed. As it helped others, it's going to help you. But you have to do your due diligence. I sincerely appreciate you all. Thank you for giving me your ears. And thank you for your time in our session today. I am very sorry that I did not get every one of you to speak. We will love it that all of you will speak, make all the errors. But please do your due diligence. Tell your wife and your hubby that if they get this interview, and so if they get this job, that their life will change positively. Let them see the good thing they want to benefit. They will be naturally motivated to support your mission. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful night and bye for now.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
The session is
Thank
so
you.
beneficial.
God bless you.
So
Thank you
much.
so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank
God bless you, sir.
you.
Thank you.